Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymax, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up? What the hell is up? That's weird. There, that's better. How's it going? Everybody?
Sounded like he was in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
I was in there. Why is the screen just going crazy? Can't it just be side by side?
Saturn retrograde. Ah! Oh, my camera has gum on it from the little sticker.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weird world of Weird Wednesday.
The wickedly wild, weird world of Wednesday.
Where we fly by the seat of our pants. You know, everything works great until right before the show, and then the computer wants to act special kind of stupid. I'm sorry, your camera has lost connection. I'm sorry.
Not even the seat of the pants. It's like the last string.
Threadbare.
If you want to destroy our sweater.
Yeah.
But we made it this time.
Yep. My camera lost connection. My audio lost connection. You know, right before the show. Wait, why not? What's I don't even act surprised anymore. I'm just like, oh fuck, again? Seriously? And then it
Oh, whoops, I'm answering and
seriously
as Weird Wednesday
straightens itself out. You know it's the damn South here when I'm drinking out of a damn mason jar.
Is it some sweet tea?
Yep.
For real?
Yep. It's unsweetened, but it has some honey in it. So it's got a little bit of a sweet kick to it. And I got this, you know, every once in a while I have a piece of dark chocolate. And I got this dark chocolate.
Is it coca?
Or
no, cacao.
It's Back to Human. Salty dark chocolate. Organic. 70% cacao. Vegan. Paleo. No sugar. No this. No that. No nothing. that means basically that it doesn't really taste as good.
Well, it usually doesn't. The higher up you get, I get the 60% cacao. But when like you do the 90, when they
Yeah,
healing things, they always give you like this melted cup of like 100% cacao that's like, ugh.
it's like bitter.
But I think
Yeah,
they add stuff to it sometimes for
yeah.
people.
This isn't terrible. I like dark chocolate. This is kind of bitter.
The salt sounds good
Yeah, it's got a little bit of sweet to it, so it's doable. You know what I'm saying? It's doable.
if you like it. It's good for you, dark chocolate.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
has health benefits.
yeah. I started eating it when I first started the carnivore diet. I was having like the first month or so, I was having some stomach issues, and I don't know if it was the diet or if it was me coming off of that Manjaro and all that shit that I was taking, but my stomach was just like not feeling it. And I read or saw a video, try a piece of dark chocolate to soothe your stomach. And I tried it and it worked. And so I'm like, yeah, cool.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that it helps soothe the stomach.
Yeah, I don't know. Works for me, but I usually do that or some ginger.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, did the doctor finally fix my issue? No, the doctor ain't done a damn thing for me. Literally. Like, I haven't even seen the doctor. It was over 4 months ago that I had a heart attack, and I have yet to see a cardiologist. That's some whack shit right
That's
there.
not even funny, man.
Yeah. I went to my doctor that, hacked this hole in my leg. Had an appointment last week. His chicken shit ass didn't even show up. He sent his PA or whatever she is. And I'm like, well, at least she'll look at the wound, and maybe change my wound back or
What
change at
a
least
puss
change the dress.
puss.
Yeah, she didn't do nothing. She didn't even look at the wound on my leg. Didn't even look at it. Had no intention of looking at it. I went there and I laid on the table and I'm like, okay, so are we doing this? Well, we don't really do that here. So
You only fuck it up, but you won't like acknowledge it. And if you don't look at it and acknowledge it, then it didn't really
yeah,
happen. Are you a dog or a 3-year-old?
I'm like, okay, you guys are charging how many hundreds of dollars for this visit to my insurance? And you didn't even fucking look at my leg. Didn't even look at it. Yeah, they suck. I hate doctors and shit nowadays. The healthcare system is just a wrecked racket.
It's been broken. Now it's just because they know that they can get away with so much
Yeah.
shit now.
I was trying to call. My home health nurse came by today and changed my wound vac dressing and all that. And my wound is getting smaller. I could show you guys a picture of it, but YouTube would clink me.
Oh,
Yeah, I sent Jamie a picture. It's getting a little smaller. That there was some tape that I'm like kind of allergic, or I have this weird reaction to the tape and shit that
mm.
they use. And so, yeah, when she first looked at it, she's like, "Oh no!" So I got these like little tears in my skin from the freaking tape. But yeah, whatever. It's getting smaller. She measured it, not well. She did today, but the other day, Monday, she measured it, and it was 10.5 centimeters deep, which is like that. And Monday, when she measured it, it was only 5 deep. So it's closing up somewhere. And I
It
think
looks like it's getting a bottom lip, like it's starting to close shut, like
yeah,
shrink up.
yeah, she was saying today if it keeps going like it's going, and as long as it's healing properly and not, leaving a pocket of funk in my leg somewhere, she's like, you could have this wound back on for another maybe 3 weeks, but she's like, if it keeps going like it's going, you're starting to heal pretty good. So maybe we can get rid of all this stuff in a few weeks.
Are you doing the mind meditation I told you about? The mind
Yep.
healing?
Yep.
See, maybe that's helping. Also, are they, and you haven't responded to this part, probably because I asked like 15 questions like at once. But I know they had you on antibiotics and all that.
Yep.
And are you getting blood work done so that they can look at your white cells and all that just to see, like, make sure you don't have signs of like an infection brewing, like instead of waiting till you full fledged or like having a problem again?
Nope. Nothing.
Dude, you should be having your blood looked at, huh?
You would think.
I think you should.
I asked my home health nurse, and she was like, "You really need to make an appointment at the wound clinic." So I tried to call them today, like several times, and it's like we're experiencing an unusual amount of calls. Your call will be answered as in the order received. And so I'm on hold for 30 minutes, and then it's like an unexpected error happened. We
They don't
can't.
do the callback if you don't want to wait.
Yeah, nothing. And so yeah, I tried to call him back like twice more this afternoon. Same
I'd
thing.
go fucking down there. Well, how far is it?
It's like 20, 30 minutes from here.
Hmm.
So I'm going to try calling him again in the morning.
Yeah, you need to be having this looked at before the infection grows into what it grows. Because, like, for the cats, they just look at the white cells and they know they have an infection somewhere. And then usually I figure out what the infection probably is. And then we treat that. And then they're like, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, Christina, at first, yeah, that tape was wrecking me. It was like, and it sucks because it's like in my groin, it's like in my like thigh next to my junk. So that, it's just naturally your leg, there's a crease there. So, it's hard to get tape to lay flat without it wrinkling up, and you're moving. So it's like the worst place to have a wound at to try to bandage. So yeah, anytime I move or anything, it's always kind of pulling. Thank God it's like the last 4 or 5 times she's changed it. It's like stayed intact. The seal's been good. It's the wound vac is staying at 125. Negative pressure, right where it's supposed to be. Knock on wood. It's been working good. And this thing's a pain in the ass because I got to lug it around with me, but it's so much less of a pain in the ass when it works right. I can deal with it. I got to drag the thing around and keep the battery charged. And it's like I had to go to Walmart today and get a little cushy seat belt pad for the strap on this thing because it was starting to blister my neck where the stupid strap's running. So I'm thinking of MacGyver ways to maybe put my padded guitar strap on this thing or something that doesn't scrub my neck raw.
That's not a bad idea, like a backpack strap of some sort.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little fishing bag that it's not really a backpack, it's a sling pack.
What
And I'm
did she
thinking
say?
about
Right in your tenders?
yeah, that's exactly where it's at. Right next to the jewels. Yeah, a great place to try to put a bandage. It's like either a weird crease in your skin or your like ball hair or something.
And I didn't see the swollen. I didn't see the swollen tenders.
Yeah.
I just heard about them.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. They're like back to like 90, maybe 95% normal size now.
I sent you these. These balls are made for bouncing. My
Good God.
ballroom's always full.
I was like, how much bigger can they get before they just like split open? That was like the worst. Like when I came out of recovery, and like was laying there and I reach down to like make sure everything was still there. I felt my one giant uniball. It's like a
Because
fucking
it all swelled together, huh?
it's like a hot basketball between my legs. I was like,
Oh my
what in
God.
the fuck?
See, I
Like,
was picturing two soccer balls, and I'm thinking with your wound, how are you going to sit? Your legs are going to have to be like hell of apart.
oh
You're going
yeah.
to be sitting like you're pregnant because you're not going to be able to like sit forward because of the
Yep.
owie.
Yep. It was a damn nightmare that first week or two, like walking around with a 10-pound turkey breast between my legs.
It made me think of South Park when he gave himself radiation to get the medical marijuana, and they're like bouncing on their balls.
Yeah.
Rob's going to be bouncing on his balls pretty soon.
Man, that was the worst. And that my right leg was like a freaking elephant leg.
That's
That
scary,
was
man.
huge. They're like pretty much normal. Like the other day, a lot of times I wear compression socks, if I'm playing disc golf or whatever. And there was not a chance in hell I could put those on because it just hurt too bad. My back of my calf was like super tight and tender, and like it just my that part of my leg would just burn like a bitch when I go to stand up. But yeah, a few days ago I had normal compression socks on for the first time, and felt good. I mean, I like them, but yeah, I don't have any swelling in my feet or legs at all now. My right leg is still a little tender, but yeah, it's
A little bit tender.
yeah. I mean, a couple of weeks ago I couldn't even walk. I had to use a freaking walker. I'm like, man, this sucks.
And considering how slow, I was sure, that this was going to be a lot slower of a recovery from the first time. You still are, despite everything you're going through, I think healing at a really good rate.
Yeah, hopefully I just keep healing and keep infection away.
Hmm.
Hopefully I can get
So you need that blood work.
I can get an appointment at the wound center, and a doctor will look at the wound and talk to me, and I brought that up today with my home health nurse. I was like, hey, I finished my antibiotics like 2-3 days ago. I'm done with them. I did them for 10 days. It's pretty heavy antibiotics, even though it was, oral antibiotics, but
Are they ones you can get immune to if you take too much?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because you don't want that to happen. If they're
Yeah.
that strong, then if you get another infection, that happened to me when I kept getting strep. I was getting immune to all the antibiotics, so the shit just wasn't working.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed to work for me. And, that was my concern was that 10 days going to be enough to hold me now that I'm just in the healing process with no antibiotics. So
No
yeah,
IV.
I need to get some blood work done just to make sure. But looks wise, she said it looked good, and she sent a picture to her boss, and her boss was like, oh, it's awesome looking. If you look at the picture, I wouldn't really consider that awesome looking, but yeah, it's all
From
red.
2 pictures ago, it's a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, that looked like it had wormholes in it before.
Yeah, it did kind of.
Like I thought those were like hose holes. I couldn't understand how the holes got there.
Yeah, it was tunneled all in my leg, and
Like, what was that?
it was exactly what it sounds like. It was tunnels, like holes in my leg. That, yeah,
Of like the stuff
fucking.
as it was like building up.
Well, it apparently, like when I first came home from whatever this second or third round, I fucking lost count how many times I've been in the hospital. But the last time when I came home, this wound basically just looked like a big gnarly scrape because it had healed over the top, because I had a wound vac on in the hospital for, I don't know, 8 days or more. And it actually healed over on the top. The downside to that is there was a big ass pocket of infection in my leg that was
Oh,
just basically rotting inside my leg, and
it
it was
like
full
grew
of,
around it and shit.
yeah. So there was a big hole in my leg and on the inside of my leg,
That's what
and
it seemed like some sort
yeah,
of a tube or hose and stuff was in there, and then
yeah, it just started tunneling. It just started doing these weird holes in my leg. And when I went to that birthday party and my leg kind of exploded and just gushed all that shit out, that was that big pocket of infection basically debreeding, just boom, popped, and all that shit came out of my leg and
just
went
like
all over the chair and the floor and everywhere else. That was awesome. But yeah, that was my body just getting rid of all that infection. And
it's like
so
when a
she,
boil has to pop.
yeah, yeah. So when she cleaned it out, she just flushed the shit out of it and cleaned it really good. And it's this huge pocket in my crotch wallet is what I call it.
At least they didn't have to cut nothing out of it.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
with sensitive stomachs, like we talk about all sorts of weird stuff, and this isn't necessarily weird. This is what happened to Rob. So everybody's getting caught up on Rob, but it is weird stuff, and we don't hold back. So apologize for anybody who might have a sensitive stomach.
Yeah.
But I can sit there and zoom in on the things and like analyze the healing and everything. And
I went to watch a video the other night on a wound vac um, dressing change from these home health people, and they get there, oh, we're gonna be, they're explaining it. We're gonna take the dressing off for the wound vac and change it, and I'm just sitting there watching it, and they pull the dressing off, and this dude looked like in kind of in the same in his thigh, the biggest meatiest part of your leg. It looked like somebody took a fillet knife and went thunk and just made this huge big slice like Dexter. Like
how many inches you think?
it was like 6 inches long, and it had to be like 4 inches deep. And I was like, oh, too much. Nope, nope, nope. Normally that shit doesn't bother me, but
What caused his wound?
I have no idea. I didn't make it through any more of that
That's
video.
when that was enough, yeah.
I was like, I saw that, and I'm like, nope, too soon.
And I
I'm done.
can really only look at it because it's yours, like if it's
Yeah,
someone else's, it's, I don't know, it's like, ugh.
yeah,
But it's yours, so it's not like horrible. It's like, ow, oh my God, I hope it's getting better type thing.
yeah, yeah. It was one of my friends. He was
Oh,
texting me.
Deborah.
He was texting me the other day, and he was like, "Hey, man, I gotta go in for an ablation, and I know you've had one, and I just wanted to talk to somebody that's had one." I'm like, dude, you don't want to talk to me because I'll straight up scare the shit out of you. I am not one to. You don't want to follow me. I said the first time I had one done, this is a piece of cake, man. I came home the same day, went to bed that night, ate dinner, went to bed, woke up the next morning, felt great, got up out of bed, and went surf fishing. I was good to go. This one, nope. This one has been the worst nightmare I've ever experienced. So yeah, you don't want to. Hopefully yours goes as planned, because you don't want to talk to me about my experience.
Because you ain't going to sugarcoat. You're going to be like, you don't want to know about this shit.
If they tell me I got to have another one of these, I'm seriously going to think twice about saying, fuck that.
Well, this was like just a free. It depends who does it. Again, it's because of an idiot. Like, I hate blood work because this chick that didn't know what she was doing shoved the needle in one day, and instead of pulling it back out, she flipped it up this way. Blood shot out and started spraying everywhere. I got freaking sick watching it, and it hurt. Ever since then, I still haven't gone in for my thyroid. 8 years later, she goes, when you feel convenient and at times good to stop by the lab, here's your paperwork, and go get your thyroid blood work. Okay. Well, guess what? 8 years later, I still haven't found convenient time to stop in the lab to have them stab me. I can pierce myself. I can get tattoos. I don't care about the piercing. It's the sucking of fluids from my body I have issue with.
Yeah.
And then having to smell the blood in the room.
Yeah. I'm so used to it now. It's like
Looking at the bags.
Yeah.
My dad loved it. He thought it was just hilarious. He had to go every like damn week.
Yeah, I had an IV in my arm. Well, I had like 5 of them in my arm, but I had one like right here, where your arm bends.
Oh
So,
God,
it's
stings.
like the worst place to have one. And I kept telling the nurse, I'm like, this IV is not working. I could see blood and stuff under the bandage. And she's like, oh, I'll flush it out. And she couldn't flush it. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's occluded. It's not working. Just pull it out. And, well, we need to keep it in there, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. And it was like the next morning or something. The CNA came in there and she's taking my vitals and stuff. And I
And
opened
the
my
tag hasn't gone down.
I opened my arm, and like when I did, the IV just shot out of my arm on its own, and blood was going everywhere. And I'm like, oh, I got a problem here. And she's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm like, it's okay. I just put my finger over it.
Yeah, it's all right. That's what I was gonna say. Like, have you ever had the blood go back through the tube the other way on one of those things? Oh, and it spurts out. Yikes!
Yeah. I was like,
That's
it's okay. She was freaking out. And,
I'll pack my own wound. Thank
that's
you.
not good. That's not good. I'm like, yeah, got the IV out though. It feels 100 times better. So just put a Band-Aid.
Body just shot that out. Like, get this shit out. Like a dart gun. Oh my god, it's a good thing too that you didn't have no weird blood disease, because that would have gotten all over the place. That's a biohazard.
Yeah, I was worried, when they had to give me so much blood when I had a blood transfusion.
I didn't want to talk about that.
Where is this stuff coming from?
Because it freaked me out. I already know, like, if I'm that freaked out, you were probably that freaked out, and you know how I get. So it's best I just don't say anything, because what's done is done.
Yep.
And we wish for the best.
Like when this whole thing started, the morning I went in for the ablation, it's like, do you want to sign this waiver? It says, if you need blood products, we can give them to you. And I was like, it's like, chances are you won't need them, but just in case. And I'm like, okay. And I signed it. And then I almost died and lost a shitload of blood. Obviously, I needed blood products. And,
But get this.
So now I'm like laying there thinking, where's this blood coming from? Am I getting COVID blood? Am I getting alien blood? I mean, I know it's checked and all that, but just
you can't
weird.
trust any of it, though. You don't know it's checked. You don't know what they do, and they had a blood shortage. Right before that happened, like literally 3 days or something before that, my mom told me about her friend at work who needed a blood transfusion. He was so scared about the blood transfusion, he like refused it, and so in order to refuse it, they had to go through this like other process, and like I don't really remember all the details, but he didn't get the transfusion and he's okay now. And so when I found out you already got it, and so it's like I was going to say, oh, wait, there might be a way you don't have to get it. But, that was too late.
Yeah, when I got it, there was no choice. It was
See if it's magnetic.
I know.
And it doesn't matter if it's COVID blood. We're getting the mRNA in our lettuce and our tomatoes and our mosquitoes, and you know what I mean? Like, shit. Yeah. We've been shed on. I'm not. we're not out getting the boosters and all the stuff, but you know we have some trace. Plus, you have long COVID. We got traces of all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to my home health nurse yesterday, and she said something. We were talking about COVID and this and that because I had mentioned to her that I was going to get my hernia done the first time around, and I like basically had the appointment made, and then I came down with that like deadly case of COVID the first time I got it, and as we were talking about COVID, and she was like, "Yeah," she's like, "I did you get the shot or the vaccine?" I'm like, "Oh hell no," and she's like, "Yeah, me either." I was kind of surprised, and she was like, "Yeah, my boss said, we could terminate your job if you refuse to take this." And she's like, "I know where the door's at." She said, "My boss just looked at me and said, 'Really?'" She's like, "Yeah, I know where the door's at." She's like, "I wasn't gonna let them force me into taking it." I said, "Yeah, I don't knock anybody that has, whatever, but I just I didn't want to take it, and I didn't. I just listened to my intuition, gut feeling, whatever you want to call it. Listened to my body, and it just said no." And I showed her some pictures of one of my friends that did take it, and it ain't pretty what it did to her.
What?
It screwed her up big time. She was, I don't know, she's perfectly healthy, very pretty, nice, perfect hair, like everything. And she wasn't sick or anything. She just, everybody was taking the jab, so she went and got it. And like within 2 weeks of taking it, her health like turned to complete shit. Like sores all over her head, lost all of her hair. Like, I mean, it wrecked her. And she became a very strong, very
Advocate
loudly
against?
voiced advocate against it. Her husband got it, and it didn't affect him. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I could show you pictures of her. I'll send you a picture of her at a later time. And yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
like,
I think we talked about her
yeah, it messed her
before.
up bad. She's like, everybody's DNA is different. Everybody reacts different. Some people it affects in weird ways. Some people there's no side effects whatsoever. But yeah, it wrecked her. And she's like, "That's the only thing that I did differently, was get that stupid shot." And yeah. But yeah, that's me. I still got a hole in my leg. I'm doing better though. Getting better. The hole's getting smaller. So hopefully a few more weeks, maybe 2, 3 more weeks of this shop vac hooked up to me, and I'll be good to go. I can't wait till I can unhook this thing and just put a bandage on my leg, and I can get wet again. God, man. I've gone to the beach and actually gone fishing a few times, hobbled down there. My buddy like dragged my surf fishing cart and all my gear down on the beach for me, and brought a chair for me. So I hung out on the beach, was able to fish a little bit. But man, I was looking at the ocean going, shit, I just want to go jump in the ocean. I knew I couldn't, but it's just really hard for me to go to the beach, especially in the summertime,
And
and
not get in there.
and not get in the water. you know, I've been in the water my entire life. Salt water is like that's like
Yes,
my
cleansing
spirit
into the
energy.
vitamin D. Oh my God.
So it was killing me to like just have my feet in the water, and I was like, I just want to go jump in and swim, but I knew I could.
What a nothing.
Yeah, I'm
Because
like,
you're
I'm
so grounding.
just gonna take what I can get and deal with
Yeah.
it. I caught some fish. And, yeah, it was cool. But now the wind's been blowing, geez, like 35 miles an hour every day. Today it had calmed down to like the 20s today. So it's too messed up to even go beach fishing right now. The water looks like somebody took a dew in it. It's all brown and funky. And of course, my phone is dead
Well,
as a doornail.
I was having problems because I had a crazy morning. I got my stuff done. Sat down. Look, hasn't happened in weeks.
Yep.
I'm starting stuff up as soon as I'm going to read. Um, did my errands, had a really crazy morning. Sat down to do articles, and the first thing I pull up, it's like Fox Odd News, where they have like these crazy ass articles. The first one I click, a malware thing pops up, and it blocks it. But it's my free version, but it still blocked it. Well, anyway, I'm trying to get into like, I can't get into like my messenger. Everything's acting all screwed up, this and that. So I'm like, damn it, because I had like an hour to try to get my stuff to Rob. Did a boot scan. Just used old articles that I've been sending because I send everything to myself to like verify later before I post it, because I don't like to post stuff until I actually verify it. And stuff to read later. So I had a few things that are weird. Nothing brand new from the last like week or so or today, but still weird. And then maybe if we have time, we could maybe do some cards at the end after we bring on the weird. Did you want me to start out? I did like what, 3?
Yeah.
How many you do?
Oh, I think I got 3.
All right.
Looking for my phone cord, but of course I can't find it. Can't turn my flashlight on because my phone's dead. And can't find my other flashlight. So yeah, I'm just stumbling around in the dark here.
You need your glasses and your shoes. I did get 2 nice big clear boxes at Walmart today to like reorganize all my cards and everything, because I have like little Amazon boxes as 2 bookends on each side of my altar. They're like collapsing. These are nice big deep plastic, and you
Nice.
can see on the side. I'm just so juiced to like get my cards all organized again.
Yeah, I gotta straighten up my entire office here. It's a total. It's what we like to call a shit show.
But it's an organized shit show.
Mm.
Is it?
Did you say an organized shit show? No, it's
Yeah. Is it an organized shit show? Like, you know where shit kind of is?
nope. It's as far as organized, far away from organized as you can get.
Oh, see, like my desk is a shit show. Can it reach? Can we look? Do you see all this? I don't know. But I know like where everything is. Like I know I can reach my hand in and find like what I gotta find.
Yeah, see, I can't do that. I can't find my phone cord. I've lost a microphone in here somewhere that
Dude, use coffee cups. Like,
use
see
what?
my coffee cups, like my big ass skull I have here from the
Yeah.
dollar store. This holds all the remotes to all of my like trippy lights. And then I have another one. It's a witch's brew cup. And then this one has all of my little like phone wires and stuff in it. So I have all these like really cool coffee cups, and then each one I kind of shove shit in it as organizers.
Yeah, I should do something like that.
Yeah, just
I
group the shit together.
keep saying I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm just going to straighten up this whole desk and office area, and then the morning comes and then it goes, and then the evening comes and I still haven't done it.
I've said that for 8 weeks now. I even have a big green bowl to put soapy water in. So as I'm sitting here, I can just like watch TV and like, or listen to music and wash rocks, kind of like with the rag in the water, and start dusting everything off.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
No. I did go through all my crystals the other day looking for that damn piece of moldavite that I was going to send you, and I still can't find it. Shit's been gone for 3 years now.
Oh my gosh.
Can't find it.
That thing took off.
I keep like not wanting to give up on it.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
through all my crystals. I went through 4 shelves of crystals the other day, and all the way to the bare bottom of the shelf, and like, not there. Don't know.
It's like not stuck a shelf in the wall. It's good. It's one of those things that one day will just turn up in like the most random crazy.
I'll just walk in and it'll be laying like, right on the counter. Like,
yeah.
Where'd this come from?
I've got the pyrite tonight. Wait here.
There you go.
Wait, no, that's still the night. For the Powerball. So we've seen the night goggles, which are pretty cool for night vision. I actually have a couple articles. The one about 3 different articles because they both have like 3 different things that the Wi-Fi can do, which is pretty crazy. Humans have a new way of seeing infrared light without the need for clunky night vision goggles. Researchers have made the first contact lenses to convey IR or infrared vision, and the devices work even when people have their eyes closed. The team behind the invention, led by scientists at the University of Science and Technology of China, gave the lenses their power by infusing them with nanoparticles that convert near infrared light in the 1600 nanometer range into shorter wavelength visible light that humans can see in the 400 to 700 nanometer range. The researchers estimate that the lenses cost around $200 US a pair to make. That doesn't sound too bad. The technology, I don't know how long the technology, which was detailed in May, is incredibly cool, just like something out of a science fiction movie, says a chemist at a university in Shanghai, China. It opens up new possibilities for understanding the world around us, he adds. No, it opens up the possibility to see at night with like your contact lenses. Oh, sudden, like the light, somebody shines a light in your eyes. Night goggles on, and then someone shines light, and like it's like, God damn it. Pros and cons. Near infrared light sits just outside the range of wavelengths that humans can normally detect. Some animals can sense infrared light, although probably not well enough to form images. Night vision goggles enable humans to see infrared radiation, but they are bulky and require a power source to work. The new lenses avoid these limitations while also offering richer multicolored infrared images that night vision goggles, which operate on a monochrome green scale, typically do not. However, the lenses do have their own shortcomings. Because the embedded nanoparticles scatter light, the images the lenses create are blurry, kind of like the old time, like when they showed the deer in the scopes,
Yeah.
how it's like the blurriest, the one that you see every detail. Um, the team partially corrected this by putting the technology into glasses lenses that redirect the light. Moreover, unlike night vision goggles, which that kind of defeats the lenses, but uh, amplify light to detect low-level infrared signals, the lenses allow users to see only intense infrared signals, such as those emitted by light-emitting diodes (LEDs). For these reasons, some critics don't think the lenses will prove useful. Cannot think of any application that would not be fundamentally simpler with infrared goggles, said Glenn Jeffrey, a neuroscientist in London. Evolution has avoided this for a good reason. Nevertheless, the authors think that their lenses can be further optimized and foresee several possible uses for the invention. For instance, wearers would be able to read anti-counterfeit marks that emit infrared wavelengths but are otherwise invisible to human eyes, says co-author, another neuroscientist. What? So, like, you can tell if like your dollar bill is counterfeit?
Yeah. It's 20's no good.
How many times do you have to worry about that?
Yeah.
Involved in the work offers another possibility. The lenses might be worn by doctors conducting near infrared fluorescent surgery to directly detect and remove cancerous lesions without relying on bulky traditional equipment. I don't know about that. To create the contact lenses, the scientists built on previous research in which they gave mice infrared vision by injecting nanoparticles into the animals' retinas. This time they took a less invasive approach and added nanoparticles made of rare earth metals, including ytterbium and erbium, to a soup of polymer building blocks to form the soft lenses, and then tested them for safety.
Hmm.
The main challenge was nanoparticles in the lenses to convert sufficient infrared light into visible light. So, tests in mice showed that animals wearing the lenses box that was considered safe over one lit up by infrared light, where mice without the lenses showed no preference for either box. Humans wearing the lenses see flickering infrared light from an LED well enough to both pick up Morse code signals and sense which direction the signals are coming from. The lens's performance even improved when participants closed their eyes. Um, Witnessing people wearing the lenses was exhilarating. The team now plans to find ways to cram more nanoparticles into the lenses and hopes to develop particles that can convert light with higher efficiency to improve technology sensitivity. We have overcome the physiological limitations of human vision as if opening a brand new window into one world. Okay, yay or nay on the
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I say nay as far as like in the field. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It might be cool to have a pair of them, like if you're on a spy mission, like trying to get um, some information on somebody,
Yeah. I heard they're also making contact lenses now that oh man, I'm having a brain fart. I can't think of the name of this stuff. But the red stuff the tin lenses that let you see the weird shit.
Oh yeah, to see like what Debbie, like those glasses Debbie got, right?
Yeah, they're making contact lenses like that now, supposedly.
Yeah, that red
Yeah,
dye that makes you see like the trip outs double stuff.
yeah, whatever it's called. Brain farting it.
Oh wait, there's Debbie right there. Hey, Debbie. What are the name of those the dye in those glasses that you were talking about getting? And maybe it might help in some sort of medical thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it's blurred, you can't really make it out. And you have to actually wear glasses over it. I guess it's still smaller than like those big binocular ones that you got to flip up and everything.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Can you? Because we're having a brain freeze. The name of like the red dye or what they're called, what those glasses are called. Oh, I see Linda.
Thiacin and I don't know how to
Yeah.
pronounce it, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the name of them. Yeah, they've come down in price compared to what they were. An account of early night vision goggles used in Vietnam.
What are you looking at?
I just Googled it.
The Dicanon or the contacts?
Yeah, just the name of the stuff.
Uh,
Yeah, how much are the contacts?
I'd rather wear contacts than have dye put in my eyes, though.
Yeah.
Dye scares me. I wonder if it's like a hard lens.
Yeah, this is just bringing me up a bunch of freaking Halloween red contacts. Not what I asked for.
I don't understand what that picture is supposed to be at the top of that thumbnail.
Right there.
No, like the one that has two eyeball things.
Yeah.
What is that?
Somebody with two contacts in. I don't know. Let's see here. What do I got?
I'm with you, Azariana.
Yeah. I don't trust nothing. What have I got here? Window share. Boom. Mystery is 70 piles of human ashes are found outside Las Vegas. What? Let's see. That is not the article I want to read. An investigation has been launched in after piles of ash and bone fragments were found out in the desert. A gruesome mystery unfolded last week as after approximately 70 piles of cremated human remains were discovered scattered around an area of remote desert near Las Vegas. The alarm was raised when an anonymous individual reported the find to TV station 8 News Now. The remains included bone fragments and ash, which were either de- deposited in piles of or good God, man. Read much, Rob? The remains included bone fragments and ash, which were either deposited in piles or strewn around the area. Some of the residue was even found in bushes and on cactus. Fragments of zip ties and broken pieces of urns were also found. It's thought that the remains had been there for some time as there was evidence of weathering. The Bureau of Land Management, BLM, has since opened up an investigation in an attempt to determine how the remains had ended up at this remote, unremarkable location in such large quantities. An analysis has indicated the remains had been professionally cremated, suggesting that a funeral home might have tried to dispose of them by dumping them out in the desert. How they managed to do that without being found out, however, remains unclear. You just drive out in the middle of the desert and dump them out in the middle of the night. Not really that hard.
No,
How they managed to do it without being
like they've been doing for the
yeah,
past how
exactly.
many
The
decades?
presence of zip ties is also particularly odd. Investigations remain ongoing.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. They just what did they just find? They found a funeral home out there that had a room that had I don't know, like I don't know how many like decomposing dead bodies in it that they just
abandoned.
kind of left them in a room. I bet that place smelled good. That's how they found it. Was they noticed a peculiar odor coming from the building. They went in and poked around and
For
yeah,
real?
like yeah, it was just in the news like a week or two ago, and I want to say it was out in like Nevada or Vegas, somewhere out there. I may be totally wrong on that, but yeah, that's what it sounds like. I mean, obviously, it sounds like a crematorium or a funeral home or something. Just had a bunch of cremated remains, and they're like, "What are we gonna do with these? Give me $50, I'll drive them out in the desert and throw them out there." And that's probably what happened. I don't think it's a big mystery as to how they got away with it. Like I say, they probably just loaded the shit up in a car or a van and truck and drove it out there and dumped it here in the desert. Like, I've been out there in the desert. There's nobody around.
Yeah, except the coyotes
Yeah.
and scorpions.
Yeah, it was funny. I was out there. I used to go out for this kite buggy event in the desert. And they were all, everybody one night was talking about, oh yeah, it's time to do the naked buggy run. And somebody was like, you guys actually go buggying naked? And the guy was like, dude, it's a 35 square mile dry lake in the pitch dark. Yeah, like who's going to see you? Yeah.
On a buggy, your little weenies like flopping around.
Yeah, that was a fun event. Although,
Did you drive naked? Did you drive naked?
I never, I would never like wear a helmet pretty much when I was kite buggying, even though I ate shit a few good times and I like flew out of the buggy doing like 40 miles an hour and yeah, I lost all the skin from my hand to my shoulder.
Oh.
But yeah, I never wore a helmet like all the years that I buggied here. But I got out there and had my kite up, and I like went over and jumped in the buggy and took off. And it was the first time. I mean, I'm used to buggying on the beach, which is hard packed sand, but out there, a dry lake bed is like it might as well be a freaking parking lot or a road. I mean, it was like
Great,
hard.
yeah.
It's like concrete. And man, I took one run out across the lake, turned around, came back, and like when I came and slid in, it was like it sounded like a car hitting the brakes. I got out of my buggy, went right to the car, opened the trunk, found my helmet, and put it on. I'm like, yeah. My buddy was like, yeah, you're supposed to wear a helmet out here. I'm like, yeah, for good reason. I said, I just hauled ass like faster than I've ever been in a buggy, and yeah, I'm wearing a helmet now. I'm sold on it. Because hell, you're only like 6 inches off the ground anyways, and you're doing 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. Yeah, you fall out and do some tumbling, man. You like your brains would get splattered. Let's see. There it is. I was looking for your other article.
There she be.
There she bellows.
I got a couple. Because one is about with Wi-Fi signals bouncing off your body, scientists can now identify you with 95% accuracy. And with this Wi-Fi technology, it's not limited to like the article I'm going to read. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm just reading one. But just so you know, they're also able to track you through your home. So they can actually see through your house, know where you're at, doing, um, and they or whatever, Morfi, MiFi, Who-Fi, that's what it is. But they do have several different ways. Also, you don't even have to have a Wi-Fi device on you. You can just walk through like town or anywhere that has Wi-Fi, and it just bounces off you, and they're able to identify who you are.
I don't know. That doesn't sound healthy either.
Well, none of this is like honestly, none of this is the worst. Worse than your phone is when your phone's charging. I used to like sleep like this and put my pet phone under my pillow, so like the cameras would be hidden. I had to stop wearing it in my shirt. I put it in my back pocket, but I keep dropping it in the toilet. But
on or like in the toilet?
In the toilet. Like the other day, I put down my pants to go pee, and as I'm pulling them down and starting to sit, called plunk. It's clean water and all, but I'm shaking it out, trying to dry it, let it sit out for a while. I will try to charge it. Like, oh, your charging device is wet, blah, blah, blah. So I can't have that in my back pocket no more. Tonight, what fell in, my last two in this bottle, that fell into the toilet.
Wow.
Nothing got wet. I was like, no! Wait for toilet joints to dry out.
Reminds me of when we used to vape. Darcy called me or texted me one day. She was at work and she was like, I just went in the bathroom and dropped my vape in the toilet. It's ruined.
Soak it in rice.
Funny then, but it's funny now, I should say, but not funny
Yeah.
then.
Not at the time. It's like, God, even if it's clean water or not, it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, why'd I do that?
Mm.
1 second, I had a perfectly fine phone, and like that,
Kerplunk?
kerplunk, glong. Is this
Yeah,
the
I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, I always think about that with my phone. Like, I'll have it in the bed with me because God, man, like, since I got out of the hospital the last time, and I told you I had that whatever little mental episode, like, dude, I lose my phone like 2 dozen times a day. It's
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
I forgot to call you to like find your phone like 3
Oh
hours
yeah,
later. I'm like, I didn't see this.
yeah, yeah. I couldn't find it, and well, actually, then I did find it because my phone, the ringer was off, so that's why I said, yeah, even if you call it, I won't hear it.
Oh, that's
But
why you said never mind.
I used my watch, and I used the Find My Phone thing, so I could play the sound, and I could hear my phone. It was like it makes this little alarm noise, and I could hear it, and I knew that my phone was in the house, so that was made me feel better. But it was under the couch. It was under the couch, and with my leg all hacked up, I couldn't get down on my knees and bend to get under the couch to get it. I just had to wait till Darcy got home. And, will you please get my phone from under the couch?
Crafty though.
Yeah, and I got one of those grabber things. That was like the first thing when I came home from the hospital the first time. I had ordered one of those things off Amazon because I'm going to be dropping shit. I'm going to be dropping the remote. I'm going to be dropping my phone, whatever, money, whatever. And I ordered one of those things off Amazon. So it was here like the day I came home from the hospital. And it works good, but it will not pick this phone up. It just won't. It just will not pick it up. Not
Man.
unless I like get the phone with my feet and like get it turned sideways, then I can pick it up. But just picking it up flat off the ground, nope, just will not work. It's like, nope.
And that's still putting muscle on your leg to have to do those
Yeah.
maneuvers.
Yeah, I went to get on my hands and knees and I'm like, nope, this ain't gonna happen.
My floppy wiener noise. Oh, is that what I did?
It put a mental image in my
Look, it's north in the wind, you know.
head.
Like a little propeller. Or what was that movie? The movie about the window, rear window, and the guy jumped out and he's falling down and his wee wee was like, anyway.
Missed.
Back, yeah, look
Yeah.
up rear window or whatever. And as he's falling out the window, because it's an old movie, like 70s, so they didn't care. And his wiener's like, like a wiener propeller as he fell. Okay, so it runs on computer grade gear and still works in poor light. Oh, I skipped. Wi Fi is no longer just access a new system, and think about cities. Wi Fi is no longer just for internet access. A new system named Hu-Fi uses how the human body alters radio waves to identify a person with up to 95.5% rank 1 accuracy. It runs on consumer grade gear, still works in poor light. The approach on radio measurements, not cameras. The ideal state, but technical under the hood. A Hu-Fi deployment captures channel CSI, the fine-grained description um, of how a Wi-Fi signal changes as it moves through a room around a person. It then turns those changes into a compact biometric signature that is unique to that. The work comes from Dan Yellow of the University built and tested the pipeline on public data. The team reports that Wi-Fi is not just a stand-in for cameras, but offers different strengths that visual system. CSI is a matrix of amplitudes and phrases across antennas. In plain terms, it captures tiny differences. Energy arrives at the receiver, which encode body shape and motion. Those CSI sequence feed a deep network that learns the person's specific and best results came from a trigger. Oh, we lost the thumbnail. A specific embedding. The best results come from former encoder that excels at long-range temporal patterns. The researchers evaluated Hu-Fi on the NTU-Fi human, which contains recordings of 14 subjects performing short walks under different clothing conditions. The NTU-Fi human measurements captured with higher resolution CSI tools that expose many subcarriers, allowing finer distinctions between people. Hu-Fi result is a 95% rank 1 ID rate, which is a mean average precision of 88.4%. That score came from the transformer that was trained on amplitude sequences and validated against a set of test data.
On this episode of the
Early attempts tied Wi-Fi to cameras to get the job done. In 2020, a camera Wi-Fi fusion system called iFi demonstrated about 75% accuracy in identifying people during live tests from 2 to 10. Hu-Fi goes on a different route. It removes cameras, learns directly from CSI dynamics, which travel within a person across spaces. The dynamic removing cameras avoids face capture, reduces sensitivity to clothing variation, structure that already exists. The promise of radio-based sensing is not new. Get it go. Okay, so forget all that. Hu-Fi rides that physics. It can operate when a person is not in direct line of sight and can keep working when cameras wouldn't be able to. They don't have to or anything. So it changes the conversation about consent, how the Hu-Fi thinks send data across many narrow frequency subcarriers. When a person stands or walks between a transmitter and receiver, the amplitudes and phrases on those slices shift with their body and gait. Hu-Fi those time series and uses an encoder to create a fixed length vector that represents that person. The encoder's output is normalized to gallery to see if there's a close neighbor from the training leans on and batch negatives. It's controlled with short walks inside defined areas, set clothing conditions, real world, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this one more and regulators have a stake as well. Might bypass cameras, blah blah blah. So you get that idea that they can. It's like your Roomba camera, your Roomba vacuum works.
Yeah.
How it like maps things out.
Yeah.
The one that's creepy is your body can be fingerprinted and tracked by Wi-Fi signals. I think this is the one is if you didn't have enough to worry about when it comes to surveillance. Researchers have discovered a new way to identify and track people with Wi-Fi. Um, but it can fingerprint individual people or their bodies and track them in the face, a space, re-identify them with the same or different location based on the way that the Wi-Fi signal off and through them. 75% on the other. The implications are staggering given the um, ubiquity, whatever, of Wi-Fi. Nearly every public and private space, a fairly um, creepy use might be a system that determines when a specific customer returns to a store and texts them a coupon present. A far more sinister app would be simply tracking where a person goes, including and when residences, if the Wi-Fi data were sold or otherwise obtained. Goes without saying that government agencies would be extremely interested in getting access to that data. Um, and then this other one just mentions how Big Brother's watching. Um, it can track you in your home. Comcast introduced a new feature on its Internet Motion, which uses Wi-Fi signals to detect motions from people, pets, or other moving objects, as many are concerned about the breach of privacy. It creates an oval-shaped area of Wi-Fi coverage, and anything that disrupts those signals may be detected. The feature can also work on stationary Wi-Fi devices like a TV, a printer. When a motion is detected, you can receive a notification. It works across various rooms and floors. It just tells you a device spotted it. It appears to be an extra security measure at first glance, but many view the technology as a threat to their privacy, not like security for their home. Wi-Fi tracking the location of everybody as they move from kitchen to living room to toilet does the opposite of providing peace of mind. And they talk about how lighting conditions pass through the walls. They can see a body alone can create a distant enough pattern in Wi-Fi signals to enable re-identification, so they can have passive tracking. So basically, they are doing a lot with Wi-Fi right now, and it goes beyond retina scanning from a cop on a sidewalk. I mean, everywhere has Wi-Fi. We're getting fenced in with street lights next to Wi-Fi tower. They're putting these 5G towers, which don't actually help your phone, next to street lights, next to power lines, and we're basically in this big fence. And I think that's why I started thinking at COVID what the 6 foot rule be. Well, I found out people in the military were saying at 6 feet they can identify a person using technology. that, when they're looking down, the further apart, the more they can make it out. Well, I'm feet is at the same thing as far as stuff goes. Once we're in the smart towns and everything, they just built one out here.
Yeah. Like I'm sitting here, I got, the EMF detector sitting here. And like I put it next to my computer, and it's like going up to like the yellow, the middle. I put it up next to the monitor, it goes to the yellow, to the orange. I put it next to my speaker and it goes, it's like blipping in the green. I got my modem sitting here for my computer. It just pegs it all the way over. Like the thing's sitting a foot and a half away from me, and it's just like all just constantly in the red. And it's what's trippy is my phone is dead right now. It's not even on. Let me see if I can make this. See if you can see this.
Oh, good night, Heather.
There's the EMF detector. Here's my phone. The battery's completely dead. It's off.
Okay.
There's the EMF detector. It's kind of bouncing around right now. If I put my dead phone up to it, it's going all the way over in the red, like, and my phone is completely off. Like, it's got a dead battery. It just turned itself off. So it's still emitting some sort of something from the battery or from the Wi-Fi or from whatever, And like when I was working one day over at the art gallery, there's a lady that used to, she worked for the NSA, and she was like, "You notice I don't have a cell phone?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She says, "There's a reason." I said, "Well, I hear all the rumors that the NSA can track you and all that." She's like, "Oh, you have no idea." She's like, "If you have a cell phone, if you have a TV, if you have a computer, you're being tracked 24/7. And everybody carries a cell phone around. And even if you turn it off, they can still track you."
Yeah.
And everybody has, you just become immune to it. It's like,
your computer too.
yeah, you just accept it. It's just like,
You turn it really off.
no. And just like Facebook is the most intrusive tracking social experiment in the world currently today that I know of anyways. But yet, you know, everybody just accepts it. It's like, oh yeah. I
Because
mean,
there it is. On us.
I'm I'm guilty of it. I'm just like, if they want to track me, I mean, I'm like a boring dude. If they're gonna track me, whatever.
They're gonna find a way
More power to them.
anyways.
Yeah, but it just sucks that everybody's so compliant, complicit, whatever, to it, that you just get to a point where you don't even care anymore. It's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I don't care. I mean, I'm guilty of that.
Censor because you want to deal with the backlash.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
It's it's the convenience. Just like the other night when Facebook, banned my account for a fucking picture of me wearing a Misfits shirt. They deemed that I was hanging out with, what did it say? Dangerous people and dangerous groups, because of a freaking t-shirt I was wearing from the band The Misfits. I was deleted off of Facebook completely. Like, Jamie couldn't even find me on Facebook. That
And
was
so I know I can still find Rob. I have him on, in other places, but I'm like, oh, Rob, looking at him like you're not on Facebook anymore. It's
I was
just so
completely.
weird.
It's funny because I always say, I've tried to get kicked off Facebook and it never happens. And then the
It
other
really
night,
has.
I was just gone. I
Didn't
was
even know
completely
why
gone.
at first.
Yeah, I sent you the message and it's like, yeah, you've been removed. You have 180 days to appeal it. And I'm like, you fuckers don't even tell me why, And then after digging, I found out why because of a T-shirt I was wearing. They deemed
That you've
me.
had up for weeks.
Yeah, it's been up there for months. It was my profile picture. Me playing a, it's been up there since May 24th. I'm sitting here trying to look it up on my phone, it's dead. I'm retarded. But yeah, good old Facebook. Yeah, I was at first I was like kind of like what the hell, I was trying to figure it out, and then just kind of an overwhelming sense of calm came over me, and I'm like, maybe it'd be nice just being gone from Facebook completely.
I try to talk myself into that stuff. Like when it's like, okay, maybe this is just it. Maybe, whatever. But then it's like, oh, but now I can't do this or do that. And da da da. I still want the option to have it.
Yeah, you get used to it. You
Because
get
a
used
lot of people are there. And if they,
to it. Yep,
weren't on it, friends and family that you catch up with, and
yep,
like the purpose, the point of Facebook is the parts that are sad, not that, ooh, I can't post or like or react to shit or do group activities, or you're gonna put me at the bottom of the feed for 90 days and not recommend my profile. Wah, wah, wah.
yep,
um it's like, shit, I want to know what my uncle in Missouri's up to, and my cousins in Arkansas and up in Washington. And
yep. I was talking to my friend today that he works up at Fish Bites, which is it's a bait. It's a synthetic bait that is made here in St. Augustine, and it's worldwide. And we were talking about Facebook, and he was like, "Yeah, I saw you got kicked off there the other night." And I was like, "Yeah, that piece of shit, Facebook." He's like, "I know, I hate it. I hate it." He's like, "But it's like if you have a business, it's one of those necessary evils, He's like, "We built $1 million business pretty much on Facebook, you know, because it's free to, you know, put your business on there, and it's free to advertise and, get the word out." And I mean, it went from, being a tiny little business to a, multi-million dollar business now. And they pretty much did it by using Facebook. He's like, so it's like a hate relationship. He's like, I hate it, but we have to use it every day just for business. Like, yeah. So when I quit Facebook a couple of years ago, when I came back, I said I would just come back and post food pictures, use it for my band, and use it to sell stuff. And I've tried
the
to stick with
shows.
that.
And the
Yeah, but
shows.
occasionally I get sidetracked. But yeah, I just try to post food, fishing, music, and use it for the show stuff. And everything else can just fall to the wayside. And I do keep in contact with my family and friends and stuff.
And it's not even that. You still contact them other ways, but it's like you don't see them every single day to catch up. But when you have like pictures, it's like, oh, cool. You get to see your brother like release a fish, or you get to see what my cousin and my uncle's visit was like up in Alaska, and
Yeah.
it's just keeping up that way. You kind of know what people are doing when you don't talk to them every day.
Yep.
Like you strip it all away. That's what it was about. We had other platforms for other reasons, but Facebook was like, different even than MySpace. It was more like a place to connect with high school friends and family and the people that you don't get to talk to all the time. So you can just kind of keep tabs on everybody. And when you do see them, it's like, oh, what have you been up to? My boat, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I've been seeing the pictures of it. That looks cool. And I don't know. Since we don't mail each other pictures anymore, and it's not like when you have like a holiday and you get duplicates and somebody gets the extra copy of pictures, or you're not whipping out your wallet and showing photos. It's like you have your collages online.
Yeah, here's the explanation. We removed your photo. Why this happened? And it still is my profile picture on my Facebook page because I was like, you know what, fuck you, I'm putting it right back. I put it back the same night. Like, if you want to delete it, delete it. I'll just keep putting it back. You can kick me off Facebook. We removed your photo. Why this happened? This photo may contain symbols, glorification, or support of people and organizations we define as dangerous.
You misfit.
Like, are you serious? Your algorithm's retarded, man. It's a band that's been around for years,
With the famous misfit skull, it's not like the Punisher and you're like, don't tread on me and I'm gonna, blah, 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 blah. Start this big group to protest, and you're just playing your base.
All I wanted was a Pepsi.
Just a Pepsi.
Yeah.
You got another one, or
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to it now. My computer's just acting reread. Okay.
That Wi-Fi shit is just trippy though. Like right through our houses. Like you already know they can fly over and see if you have like your growing, pot in the house, but now it's going to be for like gardens and all that. But now they can just see like where you're at in the house. Ooh,
Minnesota man murders his neighbor who he thought was an alien. Okay. You gotta hate when that happens. Damn aliens. A bizarre murder case saw a 38-year-old man shoot and kill his neighbor while believing her to be an extraterrestrial. The incident began last week when a witness who presumably lived at the man's home recalled being woken up in the middle of the night by the suspect to be told that their neighbor, a 70-year-old woman, was in fact an alien, and that a spaceship was coming to take them away. The man then reportedly called the neighbor up and asked her to come around to help him with something. When she arrived, he shot her 7 times with a firearm. Somehow, she was able to make it back to her house, and while the first responders were initially able to ask her what happened, she sadly succumbed to her wounds and died shortly afterwards. The suspect was later apprehended after breaking into a nearby house. He wasn't mentally unstable to begin with at all, was he? Exactly why the man believed that his neighbor was an alien is unclear, but it would be reasonable to assume that he was either experiencing mental health problems or was under the influence. Whatever the case, the fear of being carried away by a spaceship prompted him to commit murder. He will appear in court on August 8th. Wow.
Probably plain insanity.
Yeah. Probably plea drugs are bad.
A man just shot an 11-year-old boy out here, or I don't know where. They were doorbell ditching the boys, I guess they kept going. They're at a slumber party, went out, decided a doorbell ditch like kids do. Yeah, it can get annoying, and especially when like kids these days will like knock your door down and rob you. You never know, but it was obvious these kids had hit the house like a few times, like ring the doorbell, then they run off laughing, and then they go hit another door, run off laughing. Well, they got this guy's house a couple times. He goes out, gets his gun, gets in the bush and waits. They come up. He starts firing. They start running. Shoots an 11-year-old in the back. Kid goes critical condition, dies in the hospital.
Damn.
Like, what is making people go so crazy that you can be that annoyed? You know what they're doing. You know they're just like, why didn't you just spray him with the hose or
Yeah.
say like,
Get off
get out of here, and spray him off?
Yeah.
First, he shot at the ground. I'm thinking about like gas lines and everything.
People are batshit crazy nowadays. They don't think.
Like, what is happening?
I don't know, man. Some damn violent video games, man. I don't know.
Like, who goes out and goes and shoots? He's like a dude. He's a man and shoots a kid. 11. A kid shoots at kids that are just screwing off. They're not. They're being annoying, but they're not like disturbing nothing.
I mean, I've got guns all over the place. I mean, I got guns like at an arm's length. In my house, in my living room, and I got them in my bathroom. I got guns everywhere, and never once, like some of my neighbors have really pissed me off before, and never once have I thought about grabbing a gun and going out there and pulling a gun. I just, I mean, owning a gun is a big,
like ever, even to scare him.
Owning a gun is a big responsibility that you have to be, you can't just grab your gun and go shoot somebody. But yet shit happens every day, and it's not the gun's fault. It's a crazy ass person,
Yeah, they want to blame the gun, but not the mental freak behind it.
There's a 45 sitting a foot away from me. It's been sitting there for months, It ain't shot nobody. It ain't gonna shoot nobody until somebody picks it up and goes crazy with it,
I got a 40 right there, and by damned, it hasn't shot no one, gotten up and even attempted. I haven't heard it racking in its sleep.
It was kind of funny though, because my home health nurse comes and I just have her change my wound dressing. I just lay on my bed, and she comes in my bedroom and does it. There's a pistol like right by my bedside. There's a shotgun like an arm length away, standing up in the corner. And she, like, the other day, she was like, "Is that a real shotgun?" I'm like, "Ain't gonna do me no good to have a fake one." Yeah, hell yeah, it's real. She's like, "Well, I grew up with guns in the house, Yep. So did I.
Do you have a window in your room?
A window? Yeah.
Those are also good, like, because I'm like at the back of the house, so I'm like, the way people would funnel through, they would come in and then come down this way. So I'm like, I'm not going to give my whole plan away, but those are very nice to as they're funneling down the hall.
Yeah, I got a couple of pump shotguns. Just that noise will make somebody think twice,
just
especially if it's in the dark. But yeah, shotgun, pistol, you got to be kind of, you can miss pretty easy. Shotgun, you got a lot better chance of hitting somebody, if they're coming down the hallway and
coming at you or opening your door.
You throw a few rounds through a 12 gauge and they're pretty much ate in life.
Except, unfortunately, I've seen some videos of Hamas, and I don't really want to say their name, but as they were going through a house, they opened the people to ambush them, and there was like 5 or 6 people, a family inside this house, and there was like 4 or 5 of them, tactfully coming inside. They each had some sort of like an AR type, and as soon as they opened the door, the guy on the couch looks up. By the time he could even pick up his shotgun, his head was
Yeah.
like, things happen so fast.
Yep. Hey,
But
better
anyhow,
have it and not need it than not have it and need
yeah,
it. And yeah, just because you have a gun in your house for self defense or home invasion or whatever, I mean, doesn't mean you're still not going to get your brain splattered by somebody. But uh,
but it gives you a little more
yeah, exactly.
chance. If you do hear something down the hall, or you hear people coming to your front
Yep.
door, you lock your door and you get ready.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I see these home invasions where it's crazy nowadays where you see on the doorbell cam these guys kicking in somebody's door. They go in, the person inside shoots them, and then they turn around and sue that person that shot them.
Yeah.
If I was a judge, I'd just be like, nope, you ain't getting shit because you're a dumbass. You broke in this person's house and they shot you. You deserve to get shot. And case dismissed. You're out of here. You're not suing the
A
person.
lot of kids are wearing the yellow like vests that you can buy at Walmart. They knock on the door. When you open the front door, they come in through the back. But yeah, better safe than sorry. And even like a small place like this, our town's always been safe. I send you guys stuff, and you can see like just in the matter of like 2 years how crazy stuff's gotten out here.
Yeah.
People just driving, like almost got in an accident, flipping a bitch in the street, slammed on his brakes, like right in the middle of the street, just straight stopped to U-turn over a painted island. And then as we're looking at him, he's an older man, flips us off.
Oh, damn.
So this one here, I've got different thoughts about. Um, China develops world's first pregnancy robot that's capable of giving birth to live baby. And I don't know if you guys have seen the photos. I didn't put it on of the artificial wombs. They have tons and tons of just like these pods lined up, and they're artificial wombs supposedly to like help newborn babies that are premature, need extra help. But they've now, and I don't know why they have to put it into a robot if they already have the wombs. Like, why the robot? And if you see the robot fetish videos, there's always an old like that's created this subservient robot, and then and then she's holding an actual real baby, and the babe and this vapor mist like comes out of like a weird light boob thing, and vapor goes into the baby like it's feeding it. It's just really weird stuff, but now they're kind of making it real in a way right now.
Yeah.
It's a concept that only exists in, but scientists in China, of course, are developing the pregnancy robot capable of baby to term and giving birth. The humanoid will be equipped with an artificial womb that receives nutrients through a hose. A prototype is expected to be released next year with a selling price of about 100,000 yen, uh, or one double yuan. It's not yen.
Hmm.
I don't know what that is. Like pounds. It's like 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Doctor Who Eva, who founded the company Kaweya Technologies, developing the machine. The device he envisions is not simply an incubator, but a humanoid that can replicate the entire process from conception to delivery. He said the artificial womb technology is already in a mature stage and now needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so that a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy. With regards to ethical and legal issues, he said, we have held discussion forums with authorities in Guangdong province and submitted related proposals while discussing policy and legislation. Yeah, how did I get on to spaghetti, hurricane,
It's
whatever?
just weird.
Where did it go? Where did it go? Would you use this again? It says.
It's just weird how it's like not just this, but like in all different aspects, with weather, with robots, with computers, with nanotechnology, with, the brain chips like Elon's talking about, it's like there's this huge, like, just God complex of,
Oh yes.
it's like, I just don't think that's a good route to be taken, I mean, the whole making a baby and a woman giving birth to a human, I mean, we were all born, you know at one time from our mom or whatever. That whole process has always just been amazing to me, to see a baby grow inside a person and come out. It's like, holy shit, man, that's like magic. That's like some,
That's why I got into early childhood development, like, because that stuff was so trippy.
yeah.
Got
But
me.
to see it go in this route of being, robots and fake wombs that can hold a baby, and I don't know, man, that's
Like,
just
why
weird.
does it even have to be? Oh my god. Um.
I mean, women have been having babies for thousands of years. What's the need to make it like this now?
Well, we
I
know
don't
China, they have a very low birth rate right now. And a lot of that I attribute to how they used to kill off all the women and the daughters.
know.
But, like, and people say, well, it's great for people who maybe can't afford a surrogate. Well, there gets to a point where maybe you just shouldn't, right? Like,
Yeah.
I understand everybody, and it's a heartbreaking thing. I'm not knocking anybody who wants a child so bad they would do anything. And, you know, that's a personal thing. But, if you do the IVF, if you do the egg freezing and the donor, all this stuff you do, they usually end up with like twins and triplets. Um,
Yeah.
okay, if you get a surrogate, okay, you're getting someone to carry it for you. But other than, and that is a little, but it works. It works for people.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, but yeah.
This, I mean, if people used to think test tube babies and they would make fun of petri dish babies, test tube babies, come on, man! Like your parent is a humanoid robot.
Exactly.
It says that experts have not yet provided any specifics on the egg and sperm, how they are fertilized and implanted in the artificial womb. His revelations were made during an interview the Chinese version of TikTok. News of the development sparked intense discussion across Chinese social media, with critics condemning the technology as ethically problematic and unnatural. Many argued that depriving a fetus of maternal connection was cruel, while questions were raised about how eggs would be sourced for the process. However, many showed support for the innovation, viewing it as a means to spare women from pregnancy related suffering. One wrote, many families face significant expenses for artificial insemination only to fail. So the development of the pregnancy robot contributes to society. How much is the robot? Previously, science kept premature lambs alive for weeks. You know, and they had the lamb in the plastic bag. But the thing is, the lamb, I thought they put it in there because it was premature, and it was almost like how you have the incubation
Yeah.
chambers,
Yeah.
you know, and it grew hair and all this other stuff on it. But I don't think it like grew up in the plastic bag.
Yeah.
They
Lamb chops.
The bio bag provided everything the fetus needed, and they're talking. Oh, son of a bitch!
I don't know, man. I just don't think it's a good idea to be playing with shit like that.
No, I think that might be. Let me scroll right to the bottom. I don't know. So, about feminists, the lamb in the bag, the bio
Maybe it's me.
will be able to support the fetus from delivery. More female activists. Women eliminate men, and in their collective wisdom have decided to keep them. The real question is now, will men, once artificial and protected, want to keep women around? Because remember, last year they said, we don't need a family structure. Women, if you're having families, you don't really want. Having a baby is what a man wants. You're being subservient to men if you have a child. So all these women were like, I don't want to have a baby because I'm subservient to men.
I mean, everything nowadays is like, trying to break down the traditional family. Like, I mean, when I was a kid growing up, like we would eat dinner, as a family, you know, and nowadays that shit rarely happens with anybody. And it's a lot of it's just, we're
When
so
they
used to being on the go. And so, we don't have time to do that. We don't have time to sit down and, well, bullshit. You have time. You just say you don't, but
when they do, it's DoorDash.
yeah. I mean, we're so used to convenience, you're so used to driving through and getting your food handed to you out of a window. It's just like the convenience is just killing everything.
Instant gratification.
It sucks that, I mean, we all got phones, and how many times do you go out somewhere and you see a whole family in a restaurant sitting at a table and nobody's talking to each other? They're all like mesmerized and playing on their phones. Nobody, I mean, I've been guilty of it. I've gone in and got distracted by my phone, and then I'm just, what the fuck am I doing? And just turn the thing off and put it away. It's like we've lost that human connection, and it's just getting worse. It's getting completely worse. Hell, making a baby used to be a man and a woman. There was a connection there. Obviously, if you're going to make a baby, there's definitely a connection. Hey, we don't even need that anymore. It's just like, I don't know. It's sad. I always think, what's it going to be like in another 20 years, what's it going to be like? I see these little kids that are growing up, and I'm like, what's their world going to be like? Because, you know, I mean, I grew up in a world that didn't have computers and, phone. If you had a phone, it was like, holy shit, they got a phone in their house, and it was connected to the wall by a long cord, you know, and your TV didn't have 150 channels, and you know, I wouldn't trade those times for anything. I'm glad I grew up in the era that I grew up in. Like my fun as a kid didn't involve a computer game or a phone or sitting in front of a computer screen and playing dinny 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 Twinkie Dinks or whatever the hell the game of the day is. It involved being outside playing in the woods or fishing or playing in the mud, riding a bike, riding a skateboard, whatever.
There was just something about being outside that was so free. Like I was thinking about it, like being a kid and how much we just love to be outside. And in the summertime, like swimming all night, getting on our bikes, doing all of our stuff. But it was like we always wanted to be outside. And once you were outside, you felt like you were just free. You had no chains holding you down. Like you're out in the open. You could go anywhere. You could
Yep.
it's just so freeing to be outside. Go into the bushes, we would make little house
Oh, yeah.
huts, when we were younger, and in these hedge spots, and we would have full on like kitchen areas, dining room
Yep.
areas, we'd play our dolls in there, and like I'd be making my potions and all that, but we would totally play in the, shrubbery and all that stuff, building little
Yeah.
homes, building furniture out of whatever we could find.
Nowadays, kids can't even like. If you told your kid go outside and play, you'd have child services at your house, like wanting to take them away from you. Somebody would
Yeah,
call them and say, this person let their kid out of the house and they're not watching them. I mean, when I was a kid, it was like go outside and
or the kids crying because they don't want to.
yeah. I mean, I did like a little disc golf thing we did for this school, where we went and taught kids like about disc golf and like how to, we set up baskets and had them all throwing discs at the baskets, and there was a decent number of kids, and granted it's summertime, it was hot, but there was a decent number of kids that just did not want to be outside. They wanted to go back in and get on their phone or whatever. And one of the teachers is just like, I don't get these kids today. I'm like, yeah, not my world either. When I was in school in that age, if somebody came and they were going to do something outside, an activity, a sport outside, and they were going to show you how to play it, I'd have been on that shit like white on rice. I would have been having a great time. But yeah, there's a bunch of kids that were just whining because they didn't want to be outside. Just outside is not their world. I'm like, wow, times they are changing.
It's just so sad. They will never know.
Yeah.
I don't think they care
No.
to know. They don't know what they're missing, is why.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go, like when I could, I'd go out in my kayak, and I'll see turtles and manatees and porpoise and birds and fish and alligators and all kinds of shit, and I'm just like, I always think, how many people just never get to see this or never will see this because they're sitting their ass in a house on a computer or on a phone or whatever. And some people are just never going to see it. And some people, I guess, just don't care to ever see it. When I see all that kind of stuff out in nature, it just like amazes me, just the beauty of it all. It's like, holy shit, is this even real?
Exactly.
But yeah, take a picture of a sunset and there's like dolphins jumping out of the water. It's just like, is this, wow, is this even real? Holy crap, man. I'm like the luckiest person alive to be able to witness this kind of stuff. And yeah, so many people just don't don't care, don't have never seen it, you know. But then I've also taken people on tours, like when I used to work at the beach shop. You know, I do paddleboard tours and take people out there to see the porpoises, dolphins, or whatever, and they were just blown away because they'd never seen like wildlife before. I'm like, yeah, this shit really exists. It's just not on TV. This actually happens in real life. So, I don't know. Yeah, just like going fishing the other morning, being on the beach at sunrise, even though it was windy as hell, it was still just amazing to as many times as I've been on the beach at sunrise and seen the sun coming up and see the ocean, it's still every single time it's like new to me. And I just appreciate that time, especially like after almost dying. Makes you really appreciate those kind of things to
I
see,
was
but yeah, it's just like it never gets old to me to see
it
stuff.
doesn't. I was just telling somebody about how I used to like drive my Durango up to like my favorite spot by the beach where I grew up. And I'd go to the cliff, back up, and I had like my whole Durango outfitted as like a bed, blah blah blah. And I'm not like a morning person except when I am camping and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I'd go over the cliff because in the morning like the seals all come up in a spot. It's just like whatever. So the sun starts to come up. I throw the hatch up. I have my coffee ready. I sit there and you hear like you're literally seeing the sun coming up and you're watching life wake up. It's like the hermit crabs start going across the beach, the seals come up, the birds start coming down, and it's like it's just so beautiful and peaceful and everything's doing what it does.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be out in my boat or kayak or something and just be like, thinking, God, there's so many people that just they just won't ever see this or don't care to see this.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. It just seems so freaking weird to me. It's like I'm so appreciative of seeing it, and I just think how many people are just it's like a complete different world to them. I mean, even like Sam and me went hiking one day in Guana Preserve. It's just a place up north A1A out in the woods. And we went up there and we were hiking. We went in the woods and covered with ticks. That wasn't probably the funnest part, but we're just tromping through these trails in the woods, and she's like just like blown away because she's like, "What's that noise?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's wild pigs. Let's stop and be quiet right here, and hopefully they go past us because they can be pretty ornery." And we're seeing raccoons and wild hogs, and gopher tortoises, and just all kinds of shit. And she was like, to me, I mean, I love seeing it, but I'm used to it, because I've grown up here and I've seen that a million times. And like I say, it's not that I get tired of it. I'm still like fascinated every time I see it. It never gets old. But she is like from Detroit, and she's like, you got to understand, I've never seen this kind of shit before, ever. Only on Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom have I seen animals in the wild. And she was just totally blown away by it, like seeing these wild pigs walking through the woods and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, and it just makes me realize how many people have just never witnessed nature at its best.
That's why I love early childhood development. And like I've been, I grew up at the tide pools across the street from my house, one of the best tide pools out here. And I picked up a starfish and urchins thousands of times, right? I still love it. I get excited, like, oh cool. But when I would bring the kids, the little ones, on a field trip, and they had never seen a tide pool before or a sea creature.
Yeah.
To hold their hands out and let the little hermit crabs around, and let them hold a starfish and teach them about how they work. When I was looking at little Kyle's like excitement at the starfish, it brought that excitement. See, I got goosebumps back to me again. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting to experience these things through the eyes of somebody
Yep.
that has never seen it.
Yeah.
All brand new.
Yeah, that's like, you know, with Nora. I mean, she's 5, and you know, it's cool that, I mean, she watches, you know, she plays games on her tablet and this and that, but she spends a lot of time outside, and she's fascinated with bugs and snails and, you know, lizards and dragonflies and everything. And, you know, when she sees, like, we'll be out somewhere and I'm like, hey, check this out, you know, it'll be a lizard or something. I just see the look in her eyes, and it's just like that look of amazement and excitement.
That childhood wonder.
Yeah. It's just, so I'm like, damn, like, I wish I could like see or feel what she's feeling, you know?
But what working with the kids and being around kids like that, the more you are, you actually do start picking that up again
Yeah.
and getting kind of that appreciation and wonder back.
Yep.
That's why I loved those kids, and it was my happiest, most fulfilling job. I don't consider a job all those years, you know, directing these schools and working with the underprivileged and the young ones, until like I got married and it wasn't cutting the bills.
Yeah.
But it was like I was happier with the satisfaction I got from that job. It was so fulfilling that it made up for the fact, as like a director of a whole center at the time, I wasn't making more than $12.50 an hour. It's fun experiencing anything though with someone new, like if they haven't done it yet though, if
Yeah.
you think about it,
Yeah.
because it's like you know, and then you see the what they're picking up on or what they're seeing, and it's like, oh yeah, sometimes they notice stuff that you never did,
Yeah.
and you see it like a different way. But we're supposed to hang on to that child like wonder,
Yeah.
and I think being around children is one of the best ways to hang on to strengthen that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't know if growing children in a fake womb and a robot is gonna be the same thing. I don't know.
They're probably breeding their own armies though.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh well.
Yeah, just weird. It was all the weird I could scrape up. Well, not all of it, but I used to be able to like go up my messenger and then bump down the videos, like resend them to myself to the bottom that I wanted to go through later. But with each video now, it brings me back to the bottom. So then I have to like scroll all the way back and find it. So I just like hit some of the stuff from the past like 4 or 5 days. I have some real weird shit in there.
Yeah, like Craig said, I wonder how long a person today would have to live off grid before the withdrawals went away. Like, you mean the withdrawals of just our standard way of our convenience of living the way we live? Because I think about that all the time. Like, I used to go out in my boat and I'd just be out by myself in my boat for like days and just like living out of my boat, living on the water. And I used to love that shit. I had no like, you know. And granted, that's before everybody had a phone and everybody had all the conveniences of today that spoil us or just make us outright lazy. But
But you can still put on like a out of whatever response, like, phones off, out of range, hits you up in a week.
I mean, that's how I got my nickname, the Phantom, because it was like, anybody seen Rob? No, I haven't seen Rob in like 4 days. I would just disappear and I'd be out in nature. I'd be out in my boat and I'd just be gone.
Yep, me
And
too.
no way of contacting anybody, which I mean, hey, if something happened, I guess I'd be up shit creek. And I was up shit creek a few times without a paddle, but I survived.
In my 20s, nobody could find me on a weekend, but they knew that they weren't going to find me on a weekend, and they knew I was out in the wild somewhere. I was let one person know, usually like my mom or somebody, just in case something happened. I would want them to know like the vicinity, at least of where I was going to be.
Yeah.
But other than that, there was no cell phone service up there anyway. Like, no one could get a hold if they wanted to, like, I got into town. And, there are problems from that when stuff happens, like when the brake fluid was spraying all over the back tire and
Yeah.
truck caught on fire, on the way back. That can be a little inconvenient, but yeah, just get out there, live in the woods, live off the land, not in the manicured campsites, but just go off, find your own path, your own trail. Sometimes not even bringing food except for whatever fish I could catch. And I had some tinfoil and some butter and some spices.
Yep.
That was the best goddamn trout after 2 days, I swear to God.
Yeah. I used to, I had a little grill that I would have in my boat, and, I'd just pull up on a little island or a bank on the side of the intercoastal or wherever, and like just make a dinner that like if you went to a restaurant, you'd have to pay 30, 40, $50 for it, and I'm out there like catching it and making it for free on the side of the river,
And sometimes I bring like some corn whatever, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to pretend this is all I have. I wouldn't even bring like a full rod. It was like fishing ring and a fishing string and a stick and a hook and whatever. Like, I'm going to see if I can really survive. I'm not bringing any food, so I'm not tempted by it. If I don't catch something, I don't eat. I want to see if I can, on my own, survive.
Yeah.
And I did. I made my fire and I caught my fish.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty confident, in most cases like that I could take care of myself. With this dumbass health issues that I've been having this past 6 months, that throws a whole monkey wrench into things. But, if I was normally healthy, I would have no problem just being out, and living off whatever I catch. I mean, I'm pretty good at catching fish or animals or whatever.
So I don't want to catch animals, but I really don't like to like catch fish anymore because I feel kind of bad, like yanking them by the mouth and yanking them out of the water. I used to not. I actually was able to put it aside somehow because my husband was like so into it. I'm like, all right, I can do this. I can get thick skin. But afterwards, I'm like, I don't know. Like, unless I'm going to eat it, I really just don't want to scare the shit out of the thing.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I have a little bit of an issue with that myself, even though, I'll catch it and eat the shit out of it. But
yeah,
at least I like, I don't make a big public scene of it. But I mean, I think that animal for
yeah,
its sacrifice, whatever you want to call it,
because you would go get it at the store. um, I think if I'm going to eat it. But my mom says, like, if we were starving, though, you would catch mommy a fish. Yes, I would catch fish if you were starving. We needed to. Like, I can catch fish. I'm very confident when it
Yeah.
comes to catching fish.
Yeah, I mean, I catch fish and eat
Catch
them all the
fish,
time.
everything, man.
And it's not like I could go to the store and get it, but I would rather.
I don't want to put up rabbit traps and shit like that. I'd rather figure out other stuff, but I'm not a carnivore.
Yeah, I definitely eat my share of meat.
Hey, tales told in the dark. The fillet and release program.
Exactly.
Mm.
Just like when I feed my snakes. I mean, I feed them rats or mice, and
Do you
you
know
know,
what I read?
it sucks for the mice, but snakes got to eat too.
Guess what a zoo did?
What's that?
I seen it when I was looking for articles at first. A zoo is trying to talk people into giving up their pets to feed predatory animals at the zoo, like if they have gerbils or rabbits or whatever their pets are like that a predatory animal will eat. They're asking them to donate them their pets to the zoo to feed the animals. Why?
Yeah, that's whacked.
I mean, how twisted sick is that?
I love my dog, but I'm gonna feed this anaconda my dog.
I know, like, here, yeah,
Come
sure.
on,
Take
Pickles.
take my, everything I love. It's like take it. Some little kid has to go give up his gerbil. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know, but hey, it's way after 2.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna go get something to drink and head towards the bed.
I think that sounds like a fine idea. I'm going to go for a walk and give the cats their medicine.
Mm,
Maybe we'll do cards next week.
yeah, sounds like a winner.
I'll have them all organized and nice.
Yeah, maybe I'll straighten up my room and my desk by then. Probably not, but just saying, it's an idea.
Well, maybe we could even stream each other and then each have our like desk stuff and we could bullshit and talk and like clean our desks at the same time, maybe like motivate
There you go.
on some music and just like as we're bullshitting, like just sit there and get some of the shit done and not like say, okay, we have to get the whole entire thing done. Like just do little increments first. Like
Yeah.
let's go for 15 minutes and then see how we feel.
Well, groovy, groovy. Guess we'll catch. Yo, stuff's just falling off my desk without even moving. Well, there you go. There you have it. We're out of here. Thanks
You
for.
don't care what Ulrich. Hey, Whitney. All right.
Well, groovy. Thanks for hanging out with us as usual. And I don't know what's happening Sunday, but I'll probably be around for the first part of Paranormal Soup, at least.
Yeah.
I play Saturday. I play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can't remember. I play
You're
one of these.
playing all weekend?
No, just one day. I can't remember what day it is. I think it's Friday. So yeah, I should be around Sunday. I kind of like, being the last gig, like my drummer, like pretty much unloaded the van for me and loaded the van back up. And I was like having roadies. He was like, "Nah, man, you're not supposed to be lifting anything." They like really took care of me really good, which I appreciate. I thanked him for it. But it was kind of nice. I gotta admit, it was kind of nice. They did all the heavy lifting for me.
That's cool.
Didn't want my guts, falling out of my groins.
No.
What was that noise? That's Rob's entrails falling out on the floor.
Just entrails.
Grab a spoon. It's soup. So, anyways.
Pack it back in there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll see if our World Wide Web of Weird Sunday.
I got to go find a phone cord and, charge my pacifier back up. My life's convenience apparatus. We could just throw it in the woods.
I have no apparatus. I still want to get an apparatus, but I'm ready to go do my midnight walkie.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll catch y'all next time on Weird Wednesday. Thanks again for hanging out with us. We love y'all. And we'll talk to you soon.